Well, folks, here we are again for the weekly forecast. Of course, this is the first forecast of 2015, and we've had 2 weeks since our last forecast with the university shutdown. During that time frame, we had 4 precipitation events that moved across the region, bringing various amounts of snow to our state. A lot of it was with wind. Heavier snowfall was reported across portions of western and northern Nebraska, but everybody did enjoy a little bit of snowfall. Now, in terms of Christmas Day, the official categorization of a white Christmas is 1 inch of snowfall on the ground. Even though we did have a semblance of a trace to 1 inch in many locations, a lot of the state did not qualify for a true white Christmas, even though we did have snowfall on the ground. So, even though the statistics didn't say we had a white Christmas, with the snowfall that we had, I would quantify it as at least having a semblance of a white Christmas. Now, as we go forward in time, this cold air that we've been dealing with since essentially just past the Christmas Day holidays, and has been bringing very good Arctic air into our region with some very strong high pressure system that did bring some record high pressures to parts of Nebraska, Iowa, and points to our north. That has eased up, and we'll see another secondary surge this weekend. And then we are going to see a nice gradual warming trend that may last for at least 7 to 10 days. So let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we got in store. Here's that trough that's going to bring a second reinforcing shot of cold air later this weekend. It's going to start to make its way southward. But for today, we are looking for highs that are going to approach the 30 to 32 degree mark across northern Nebraska and far southwestern Nebraska. I think we're going to get up into the low 40s. And then as we go into tomorrow, the cold air from this upper air trough starts to push southward, and that may generate some flurry activity across eastern Nebraska and possibly some snowfall accumulations across western Nebraska. And I think this will probably occur on Monday, but there may be some flurries starting to develop in advance of this front. Coldest temperatures are likely across northern Nebraska early in the day, with them falling consistently throughout the day. The cold front will reach southern Nebraska during the mid to afternoon hours, and so we'll start to see our temperatures bottoming out after that. And that will bring in some very cold conditions on Monday. We'll be looking at this Arctic air piling up against the Rocky Mountains, and that may generate up to 1/10 of an inch of precipitation for the Panhandle, which would equate to 1 to 2 inches. But further east, it looks like we're going to see nothing more than flurries, but very cold temperatures. We return back to highs in the upper teens to low 20s. And as we get into Tuesday, there may be some residual flurries left in central and western Nebraska during the early morning hours, but most of that will push toward the south, and we'll start to see warm air try to make its way in. So we're going to jump about 2 to 3 degrees on temperatures. We'll be looking at the low 20s, but by Wednesday, we start to see warm air really build in as this high pressure ridge takes hold, and that high pressure ridge will continue to push eastward on Thursday, and by Friday, it will encompass much of the southern and northern plains with a piece of energy moving out across the southern stream. So as we look at our temperature forecast, most of the precipitation will occur this weekend. A little cool on Monday, nice warm up to the end of the week. As we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast, warm air takes hold, and of course with that we start to see an increase in precipitation with these storms coming into California.